The price of gold going up. The price of stocks going down. The value of the pound going down, stabilizing, going down. Oh my goodness, what will we do? The divorce papers have, in fact, been filed. Great Britain is officially leaving the European Union. Now, there's two things that we're going to discuss on today's program. One is some of the actual particulars and what it means, and then the other is the political reality on the ground that is behind the divorce, behind the exit. Let's talk about the political reality first. The majority of the people in Great Britain, and especially, by the way, in England, because you have to remember that Northern Ireland, Wales, Scotland, England proper, they make up Great Britain. And the people, the overwhelming majority of people in England and Wales said, we're done. We are out of here. There was actually a servant in government killed, God rest her soul, killed by somebody who was saying put England first. She was murdered in a public setting. The people of England have had it, and the point where the pimple pops is immigration. You need to remember that, because the Republicans and the Democrats in America, the machine, they're watching. And Hillary Clinton's people are in panic over this. But I'm getting ahead of myself. When the European Union was formed, one of the things that they said, all right, this is the deal. You want to be in on this? A passport in any one of our nations means that anyone can go anywhere in all of the European Union nations. When the nations who agreed to be in the European Union cut the deal, they said if you've got a passport from one of these member nations, you can travel freely to all member nations. It almost made it like the United States. Not exactly, not quite, but close. If you're in New York, you cross the border into Pennsylvania, no big deal. Pennsylvania goes straight into West Virginia. And the English people said, we're being overrun. There's an immigration crisis going on, and it regards Muslims from the Middle East, and it involves terrorism, okay? That's the driving, emotional, visceral, motivating force going on with the average Joe in the English pubs, okay? The elite said, ignore that. This is going to cause all kinds of problems for us. And they said, you know what? I'm not interested. Now just step back for a minute and imagine that we cut some kind of a deal where Canada and Mexico and Costa Rica and Haiti would decide who came into our country because we cut a deal with them. We would have no right to stop them. All right, forget the illegal immigration crisis. At that point, anybody with a Mexican passport could just come into America. So the English people, by a significant majority, said, we are done. We are out. Now, if you are Germany, right now the weight of this is going to fall to you. I need to, before I get ahead of myself, let me finish up with a couple of key points. They created the euro. You will remember that the euro is the second largest currency in the world, but it's way distant to the American dollar. When England came into the European Union, they refused to surrender their currency, and accommodations had to be made for them. Now again, picture America, Canada, Mexico sharing the same currency, okay? The English early on said, we're not doing that. We are the pound, as sound as the pound. The pound was the currency of the world for a long time, and it is still one of the most stable currencies in the world. And the English government, the English people said, we will never give up the pound. Let the French give up the franc. Let the Germans give up the Deutschmark. Let the Italians give up the lira. We are not giving up the pound. So the members of the European Union gave up their currency, and they gave up certain rights to control their borders. Now, I want you to stop for a minute and just think that one through. If you don't control your own currency and you don't control your own borders, what does that make you? Are you really a nation anymore? Are you really your own free and sovereign independent nation? No, because you don't get to control your border and you don't get to control your currency. And the English people finally said, we're done with this nightmare. We're getting out. I'll be right back. Stay with me.